Let's talk about adding and subtracting polynomials. So I'm going to show you addition first, and then we'll move to subtraction. The big idea here is you do want to take your time with these. They can be very simple, and they should be, but a lot of mistakes can be made if you rush it. So I have 2x squared minus 4x plus 9 plus x squared plus 3x minus 5. First thing I like to do is let's get rid of these parentheses. So I look to see if there's any numbers out front of parentheses, because remember, whenever we have numbers out front, we distribute. So really the number out front of here is 1. The number in front of here is also 1. 1 times 2x squared is just 2x squared. 1 times negative 4x is just negative 4x. 1 times 9 is just 9. So I just figure out what's the number outside the parentheses, multiply it through, distribute it through. Do the same thing over here. 1 times x squared is 1x squared. 1 times 3x is 3x. 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. So parentheses are gone. Here's the next and probably the most important step. We want to add these together, but what I want to do is I want to have my answer in standard form. So I'm going to start with the highest degree and go all the way to the lowest degree. So I'm going to go to the highest exponent to the lowest. So we're just combining like terms, meaning if I have a 2x squared there, that looks like one of my highest powers, this can only combine with other terms that have x squared. So 2x squared and that 1x squared, if you add those together, 2x squared plus 1x squared is 3x squared. And I'm just going to keep going down. So after the x squareds, let's go to the x's. So I have negative 4x plus 3x. Negative 4x plus 3x, those are like terms. Negative 4x plus 3x is negative 1x. And finally I have 9 minus 5, which is 4. Just to make sure we got this, I'm going to do one more example of adding. So again, the setup, we have 4x to the cube minus 4x cubed minus 2x plus polynomial of 3x squared minus 8x. We got to take those numbers outside the parentheses, none there because they're ones and we don't write them. Let's distribute those through. 1 times 4x cubed is just 4x cubed. 1 times negative 2x is just negative 2x. 1 times 3x squared is plus 3x squared. And then 1 times negative 8x is negative 8x. Again, we're going to start from the highest power, work our way down. So I have an x cubed here, 4x to the cubed, 4x cubed. You're not going to notice any other x cubed term. So that is the only term, so nothing to add with it, so we're just going to write 4x cubed. Then go from x cubed to x squared. I have a plus 3x squared, so let's put plus 3x squared. And finally I work my way down to x. I have negative 2x and negative 8x. Negative 2x and negative 8x is negative 10x. So that is standard form adding polynomials. So let's show you subtracting. Basically, same kind of setup. We got to look to distribute. Here's the big change. So over here, still I got a 1 out front. Over here, things change because I got a negative 1. Now you'll see the implication there in a second. So when I distribute this 1 through, nothing's going to change. Multiplying by 1 does not change anything. So I got 2x squared minus 3x minus 8. The big change is when I multiply a negative 1 times a positive 7x squared. A negative times a positive is a negative 7x squared. Then I have a negative 1 times a negative 5x. A negative times a negative is a positive 5x. And then all we have to do is combine like terms. Start with the highest power, work our way down. So 2x squared and negative 7x squared. 2x squared minus 7x squared, those are both x squared terms. 2 minus 7 is negative 5x squared. Then move down, decrease it. So after x squared is x. Negative 3x, then positive 5x. Negative 3x plus 5x. Negative 3 plus 5 is plus 2x. Only term left is we have that negative 8. Nothing else to combine with it. Just going to bring it down. Negative 8. One more quick example of that. We have a 1 out front in this last one. So when you distribute it, 1 times 3x is 3x. 1 times 7 is 7. Over here, we have a negative 1. This is going to change a lot of things over here. A negative times a positive x squared is negative 1x squared. Negative 1 times negative 8x, positive 8x. Negative 1 times negative 7 is positive 7. Again, go through, start with the highest power, work your way down. Highest power I see there is a x squared, negative 1x squared. Well, that just becomes negative 1x squared. 3x and 8x. 3x plus 8x, 3 plus 8 is 11x. And then finally I have 7 plus 7, which is 14. And that is adding and subtracting polynomials.